Welcome to the Golden State Media Concepts Beauty Tips Podcast, the show that gives you advice on everything from hair to fashion to skincare products. We'll talk about the latest trends in makeup, hairstyles, and anti-aging remedies. And we'll cover all of the newest fashion trends. If you have an interest in or questions about the beauty and fashion trends that might work best for you, the Golden State Media Concepts Beauty Tips Podcast has got you covered.
Hello all and welcome back to the GSMC Beauty Tips Podcast brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. I'm your host, Betsy Scaresbrick. Before we get started, I wanted to bring to your attention a couple of mistakes that I had a few episodes ago. So there are two things that I want to retract my suggestions for. And one of those is that I suggested using salt as an exfoliator, like adding sea salt to a scrub in order to make it more of an eco-friendly alternative to scrubs that have microbeads in them. Apparently, salt can be very, very bad for your skin as it can be too stripping and really dehydrate you. Now, my experiences with sea salt scrubs have always been positive, both in the short term reaction of my face and the long term. So I was watching a Hiram video and I saw him complain about sea salt. So I just wanted to make that known that you just have to be careful with your skin and be careful how you use it. Additionally, I suggested the Amika Sexture Beach Look shampoo to try and get some natural beachy waves a couple episodes ago. I've received word that it is, quote, nasty. And that's from a professional hairstylist who's also an Amika ambassador. So we love Amika, just not that product. So I don't know if anybody had tried it yet and maybe could provide a different perspective on it, but that's just what I have received. So not much has been going on with me. I am moving, so to speak. I'm moving from one room in my house to another room in my house, but it is moving regardless, and moving sucks. But it's fine because I'm getting my older brother's old room, and he had a very big room. He had our third floor of our house was redone from it all being the attic to like a penthouse situation. And my brother has lived there his whole life, but so now I get to move in there. So that's very exciting. I've also just been working. I am, just trying to keep myself busy. And with that, I am excited to get into today's episode. For today, we're talking about Jeffree Star's response to all of the drama that's going on. Let me tell you, it's very lackluster. It's not as dramatic as we all wanted it to be. I'm going to give you guys some shaving tips for, it's summer. We're all wearing shorts and things, and people are starting to shave more than usual, shaving bikini lines because of bathing suits. So I'm going to give you a couple tips and tricks that I've learned from reading up on that. I'm also going to try and give you guys some men's beauty tips because a listener requested it, and I want to make the Beauty Tips podcast as inclusive of everybody as I possibly can. So I don't know a lot about it, but I did research on it. And so we are going to be learning about the world of men's self-care together. And then finally, I'm going to give you guys some of my favorite, I would say outfit, but articles of clothing to wear during the summer. I've kind of got my style down to a uniform during the hot months. So I'll give you guys some of my favorite pieces to wear during the summer. And with that, let's get into the episode. I simultaneously can't believe we're still talking about this, but I am kind of shocked that it took this long to get a response, and also such a short one, from Mr. Jeffree Star. So Jeffree Star finally made his video responding to all of Tati's allegations that she made in her 40-minute long video. It's been 3 weeks since she posted her original video, so I'll refresh your memories on everything that she said. In the, again, 40-minute long video, which had a lot of tears and dramatic pauses, she explains that Jeffree and Shane were so jealous of James Charles that they gaslit her into making her original Bi-Sister video. She also said that after Shane Dawson's and Jeffree Star's docuseries had completed in December, that she and James met up, talked through things, and they compared their evidence and receipts of what actually happened behind the scenes of their whole ordeal. And she said that she'd always loved James and that he told her multiple times that he wanted to be there and support her, but she wanted to take it upon herself to make this video so she can apologize directly to the people that she needed to apologize to. The basic message of her video was that she fell prey to people who she thought were her friends, who were telling her to do something to stop the bad and allegedly predatory behaviors of someone else whom she cared deeply about. Throughout the entire video, I said this last time, something that really put me off was how she kept saying that she could be a good role model for Jeffree. It really rubbed me the wrong way because they're grown adults, and Jeffree's had his own share of problematic instances where he certainly could have learned from them. You know, he's just as much an adult as Tati, yet he continues to involve himself in this drama. And if you remember, Tati said that, in her opinion, he was gonna go off and do something crazy, like he had all this blackmail of all these beauty YouTubers, and that we needed to be prepared for a comeuppance, basically. And Jeffree talked about that claim in his brief video. So it was a 10-minute long video. And in this video, Jeffree hopped back onto the YouTube scene after a month-long hiatus following the fallout of what the beauty community is now calling Carmageddon, which is a spoof on Dramageddon 2.0 from last year. And to be clear, Jeffree posted a video a week before Tati posted hers, but it's only been 3 weeks since Tati posted her video. Jeffree claims in his YouTube video that he took a social media break, which is not true because he was posting and liking things on Instagram, but I digress. In the video that Jeffree posted, there seems to be a lot of him giving vague apologies and realizing things about himself. He also claims that he doesn't want to be in the drama anymore after repeatedly putting himself in the drama. So if you remember, after everything that went down last year, he posted a video called Never Doing This Again, where he says that he would never insert himself into drama again, which is ironic because he certainly has a history of saying he doesn't want to be involved and then somehow finding himself at the center of it all. I found a lot of issues with this video personally. The first thing being, everything he apologized for and everyone he apologized to was incredibly vague, except for his apologies to James Charles. That was direct. A lot of the rest of the video was him saying, it was basically him being like, I don't want to be that person. Do I screw up? Yes, I'm human, which is all well and good, but it could be a much stronger apology, which I don't even know if this was meant to be an apology video or just a recognition of things going on. But it would be a much stronger apology if he were to just say, yes, I screwed up. I did that. I'm sorry. The issue with Jeffree Star's apology videos is that he consistently says, I screwed up. Here's to a new chapter. And then the cycle starts all over again. And of course, people are human and are bound to make mistakes, and we can show them a little grace. But when it is as cyclical as Jeffree Star's behaviors, I'm less inclined to give second chances, if you will. Additionally, he never took accountability for the claims of racism against him from the other beauty YouTubers like Jackie Aina. Jeffree is constantly playing victim, and like I said, he never takes accountability. And his constant pattern of screw-up apology video is becoming really old and less genuine and less believable. Something else I think is really ridiculous about this is he just hijacked the Black Lives Matter movement and used the deaths of Breonna Taylor, Elijah McClain, and other victims and used it to distract from his own controversies, saying that there are more important things happening in the world, which is true, obviously. And we're in the middle of a pandemic. We're in the middle of a resurgence of a civil rights movement. We are in the middle of the worst economic recession since the Great Depression. And it just feels really messed up for him to be saying there are bigger things going on here and using that as a way to take away to use as a distraction when he can't own up to his own racism. He can't apologize to the people he was racist to. Jeffree also came to the defense of his friend and fellow YouTuber Shane Dawson, who has his own shares of controversy right now, as some of us know. He said, quote, "I know that Shane would put his family and friends before himself in a flash. Now, did Shane and I get caught up in the drama and do some dumb stuff? Of course we did." Now, Star still hasn't confirmed or denied what Tati said about feeding her lies about James Charles. That he did not mention he's in Shane's involved. He said that they got caught up in it, but he didn't mention exactly what that meant. And he also didn't mention any of the things that people are really upset about regarding Shane Dawson, whose name is now associated with sexualizing children and animals, dressing in blackface, and using racial slurs. Star said, quote, "That is my best friend, and I was truly shocked that people thought I was going to distance myself from him or that my silence was anything but support. I know the amazing person that he is today, and you don't abandon your friends." So, to recap, up to this point, Jeffree has not directly addressed his own racism, Tati's claims that he and Shane Dawson fed her lies, Shane Dawson's controversies, or his partnership with Morphe ending, which was kind of a huge deal. What he has done is apologized to James Charles for publicly saying terrible things about him without talking to him first. He admitted. He was like, should I have called James and addressed these concerns to him directly? Probably. I mean, he also used Black Lives Matter to distract from his own controversies, and he has, as he said many times, realized things about himself. I think my biggest takeaway from this video is that Jeffree has no interest in taking accountability and becoming a better person. He mentions that while he wasn't ready and didn't want to admit he was wrong in the past, he has no excuses now and is fully admitting his flaws. But he didn't, really. I feel like everything he said was, as I mentioned before, very vague and acknowledged wrongdoing without any sort of responsibility or plans to change in the future or plans to atone for his actions. Other than that, he won't do it again. And if and when he does do it again, he's probably just going to make another apology video saying that it's time for a new chapter. And like I said, people make mistakes, and that's a part of life. But the issue is, if you're not going to directly acknowledge that and try to make active changes to prevent yourself from making the same mistakes as we've seen Jeffree do, because he claims every time that he doesn't want to get involved but subsequently gets swept up in the drama, then I'm less inclined to repeatedly give you more chances. But anyway, that's all I have to say about Jeffree Star. Hopefully I won't have to talk about him again. So we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, I'm going to give you all the tips you need for a smooth shave for the summer. Stick around, we'll be right back.
The GSMC Life and Happiness podcast takes you on a journey of exploration. We'll discuss tried and true methods alongside the latest trends of how to best live your life to its fullest and happiest. From psychology to meditation, science to self-help books, the GSMC Life and Happiness podcast will help you to discover what makes you happy and how you can live life being the best you possible. Download the GSMC Life and Happiness podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, or anywhere you find podcasts. Just type GSMC in the search bar.
And we're back. If you missed the first segment, we were talking about Jeffree Star's response to Tati's latest video and my thoughts on his apology video. I use the word apology lightly. But now we're going to talk about shaving. So we're in the middle of the summer. It's hot as all get out. And people are going to the beach and to the pool, hopefully safely and wearing masks when you're around people, as we are still in the middle of a pandemic. But my friend Samantha requested that I talk about shaving tips and various ways to get the best shave and tips to avoid razor rash. So I'm going to go through a couple tips from Teen Vogue as well as tips from a site called The Every Girl. So the first thing that both these people are saying is to start with the right tools. Now, I have tried every razor under the sun. I started with the Venus Breeze. I remember begging my mom to let me start shaving. I think I was in fifth grade. I begged my mom to let me start shaving, and so she made me put on a bathing suit. She got me my first razor and my first thing of shaving cream, and we sat in her bathroom. We filled up the bathtub to like an inch of water, and she taught me how to shave my legs. And I remember I was only allowed to shave from ankle to knee. I couldn't shave my knee, couldn't shave any higher up because my mom was like, that's all you need. Just the lower half of your leg. And she was right. When I was 10 or 11, that is all that I really needed to do. But so I started with Venus Breeze. I've tried that Chic Intuition one that has the wide razor head and it's like a weird shape. It's hard to hold on to electric epilators, to Harry's razors. I do like Harry's razors, but one thing I'll say about them is that, so it's really convenient that they ship you new razor heads every month. But one thing I will say is that it's really easy for the head of the razor to come off. And I don't know if that's just on my own Harry's razor, but it'll slip off while I'm shaving. So that's something that I will caution you all towards with Harry's. But I do love it. They're great razor heads. They're just hard to maneuver easily. But my favorite razors that I've ever used were the Gillette disposable ones for men. And my dad used to buy them in bulk from BJ's. And every time I used that razor, it was the best shave I've ever had. And you can use them for several uses. I know some people say that you shouldn't, that some men's care people will say don't use a razor more than once if it's a disposable one because that's not what it's meant for. But you can definitely get several uses out of it. And I will say we stopped getting them because they're not environmentally friendly. It's a lot better to just, get a reusable razor head that you can use more than once, not a disposable one. For your bikini area, the most luck I've had against razor burn is by using the Remington electric razor before I shower. I say do it before showering because, one, it's an electric razor, which I think they can get wet, but I've had the most luck on dry skin, and also so that any loose hairs that you have from shaving your bikini line will be washed away during the shower. If the hair in your bikini area is on the longer side, I would say trim it down with hair cutting scissors first before going in with an electric razor because it can be a little bit more painful that way. They also say the next thing that they say is to shave in the shower. Now, according to Anthony Sosnick, who is the founder of Anthony Brands, a successful shaving experience starts in the shower. And he says, quote, "The reason you should always shave in the shower is because the steam from the warm water softens hairs up to 30% and also helps them stand up. And this means that the blade has an easier time shaving them off." Dermatologist Dr. Jody Levine recommends waiting to shave until after you've been in the shower for a few minutes to allow for the optimum softening of the hair. In the Every Girl article, it's for the same reason that she recommends shaving at the end of your shower, so your hair is at its softest point. The next thing that they say to do, and I'll be the first to admit I am bad about exfoliating. I'm really bad about exfoliating my legs before I start shaving. This is a really important step in avoiding ingrown hairs. Dr. Levine says, quote, Regular, gentle exfoliation will help remove and reduce flaky skin around the opening of the hair follicle and can begin to release any ingrowing hair. Sosnick adds that without exfoliating, you run the risk of trapping oil, dirt, debris, all between your hairs, which can lead to infection. He says, quote, "We always say the cleaner, the closer. A closer shave means less chance of problems that could potentially pop up down the line." I like to use Soap and Glory exfoliators. I've talked about them a little bit in previous episodes. I know Hiram says sometimes exfoliators can be too stripping of your skin, but so he likes to recommend a sugar scrub because when you use a sugar scrub, water dissolves the sugar and it's a little less damaging to your skin. But I've found that if I use a sugar scrub, like he says, my razors will get clogged from the oily residue that a sugar scrub will leave behind. So, up to your personal preference, listen to your body, know your skin, and use what's best for that. Another thing I'm bad about using is the right kind of shaving cream. I am very bad about this. Sometimes I'll just use soap or body wash, which is a big no-no because it can make your skin doubly dry. And also, if you use soap, it can make your razor slippery and it slips out of your hand and you get more nicks and it's a worse situation for sure. Dr. Levine says, although everyone's hair grows at a different rate, the best way to get the most out of your shave is to use a non-foaming cream or gel. Foams, she says, quote, foams are filled with air, and air is a barrier between the razor and your skin. If you have a rich, dense cream or gel, it allows the razor to get as close to the bottom of the hair as possible. Plus, you can see any easy-to-miss spots if you're using a gel. That means you'll get an even longer stretch of smooth skin between shaves. I will say that I like to use, when I have it, sometimes I don't always have it, but I like the Dove Moisturizing Body Wash that comes in those big bottles. Normally I'll do the cucumber scent, and I've found that that's a really nice alternative to, me being a dummy and using just normal bar soap or body wash because it's hydrating and, like it said, it's high in moisture, excuse me. If you're not a shaving gel kind of girl, Teen Vogue suggests that you opt for an oil. I've never used an oil, but I've always been intrigued. They suggest using ShaveWorks Pearl Polish Dual Action Body Oil because it allows for a close shave and also serves as a super hydrating body cleanser. I think my reservation with using a body oil would that I would feel like my pores would get clogged more easily. Kind of in the same way to a sugar scrub. I don't feel that my skin will absorb it in the same way that will be more beneficial compared to just like like the Dove body wash, because I think if my skin were to absorb it, it would make me break out more. But again, I haven't used it as a body oil in that way, so I'll be sure to try one. The next tip that experts give us, they say to shave downward first and then up. My entire life, I have been shaving against the grain on my legs, except for, because, sometimes like on your thighs, I've noticed that my hair will grow in different directions. I've never tried, I feel like I've tried to shave downward and it's just really bad. And so then I'm like, well, that was dumb of me, a waste of my time. Let me just shave back up. So the next time I shave, I'll try this method and I'll let y'all know how it goes. I think the biggest thing with shaving is that I avoid shaving so often because it's such a hassle. It's so time consuming and I feel like I'm wasting water and wasting, energy trying to shave my legs when it doesn't matter. But I do like having the smooth skin. So I guess going down the grain or with the grain first and then coming back up against the grain would probably, I believe them. It would give me a much nicer shave. I just have never had the patience. But I guess in a similar way, I've been doing that on my armpits, and it's really helped with my razor burn there. I always thought it was because the skin under your armpits or in your armpits was so sensitive. So going with a grain first helped so that I get that logic can be applied to legs. I just have never really tried it. The next thing that the Evergirl suggests is shaving east to west on your knees. It comes from the logic of your hair grows in different directions on different places of your body, which I get. But I will say I'm so scared of my knees, my ankles, and yeah, it's just my knees and my ankles. But those are the scariest places to shave because you got the knobby parts of your knees and your ankles, and it's so easy to get nicks and cuts. So I just am trying to imagine shaving left to right, or no, right to left on your knees and just trying all different directions is so scary because I'm already so careful. I feel like it would feel so foreign to me try and shave in a completely new way. But that's just one suggestion. It's one tip for a new way to shave. Moving on to your post-shower shave. Evergirl suggests that you disinfect your razor, which is for sure not happening. I will not be spending time disinfecting my razor. I wash my razor. I try my best while I'm shaving even to just get all of the extra hair and skin buildup that comes in the razor. I try to get it out, and I rinse my razor after. And it says, this is something I could be better about, is drying your razor before you just put it back in its normal spot, because it can rust the blades really easily, and that will dull your razor even quicker, and you won't get your money's worth. They also suggest to moisturize, and that's kind of like a universal thing. You should moisturize after you shave. I use Nivea's Essentially Enriched Body Lotion, and I will say it's kind of greasy. I really only use it after the shower when I can lounge in a towel wrap or robe and let myself air dry and let the lotion sink in. If I'm not in a rush to do anything. The Evergirl says to use tea tree oil to prevent razor burn. Absolutely not. No, you guys know I love tea tree oil. I'm a huge proponent of it in small doses where you can be concentrated in one spot and you're not just spreading it all around your skin. I cannot imagine putting tea tree oil anywhere near your bikini area. That feels like a terrible, terrible, terrible idea to me. If it works for her, good for her. That is not something I could ever say in good faith, yes, you should do that. It's something where I would say really invest in an ingrown hair serum or a post-wax serum that prevents ingrown hairs. That's something that I think is worth spending your money on. I read an article from Cosmopolitan once where a former stripper shared that after she used a serum of some kind, she would apply deodorant, which prevented chafing and razor burn, which I think is interesting. I feel like I've heard that before for, between your legs when you're running and stuff, but I've never heard it for razor burn. So if anyone has tried that, please let me know. I'd be very interested to hear what your personal experiences are with that. Well, that's all I have for shaving tips, so stick around because after the break, we're going to explore together the world of men's beauty tips as requested by a listener. We'll be right back.
Tired of searching the vast jungle of podcasts? Now listen close and hear this out. There's a podcast network that covers just about everything that you've been searching. Hey! The Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network is here. Nothing less than a podcast bliss with endless hours of podcast coverage. From news, sports, music, fashion, cooking, entertainment, fantasy, football, and so much more. So stop lurking around and go straight out to the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. Guaranteed to fill that podcast itch. whatever it may be. Visit us at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and download us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play.
Welcome back. Before the break, I was talking to y'all a little bit about different shaving tips and tricks that you can use for getting the closest shave and also for helping with potential razor burn. So now we're going to delve into the world of men's beauty and men's self-care. This is something I don't know a lot about. You know, I've gained some nuggets of knowledge from Queer Eye with, say, beard care or men's fashion tips, but I'm going to dig a little deeper than that and we can learn about it together. So everything I'm telling you is compiled from various articles on men's health and wellness that I've read. And from what I'm seeing, a lot of it comprises of basic care for your hair, skin, body, face, whatever. Now, I'm going to go through an article I found by a men's wellness counselor named John Moore, who talked with several dermatologists and skincare specialists for tips and products to use for various parts of your body, going from head to toe. This is on guycounseling.com, and there really honestly is a lot of overlap with just basic self-care steps that everyone should be doing. You know, washing your face, moisturizing, using the right hair products, etc. But I'm going to go over some general stuff from this list because it's very, very comprehensive. Okay, so starting off with the top of your head, your hair. His first tip is to get rid of dry hair. He says if you're a man with dry hair that's frizzed out, there could be a number of reasons for this. For example, you live in a cold weather climate. Wearing a winter hat can zap moisture from your follicles like crazy. But other things can also cause damage, like if you wash your hair every day or if you blow dry your hair too often. The first few tips that he recommends, which I actually also do, is I don't shampoo my hair daily, but I do daily condition. He suggests a bottle of Rugged and Dapper Remedy Conditioner, and it's made from natural ingredients that help to restore texture and shine. He also says to shampoo only once a week or every other week. That seems low. But he says once a week or every other week. I guess really just wash your hair based on, you know, your own personal habits. He also says, like he mentioned, cold weather that requires you to wear a hat. You could, you know, put a little hair cream in your hair that would kind of save the moisture in your hair. I know a lot of guys get nervous about hair loss, and this is his next tip. It's about stopping hair loss. Because, you know, sometimes the older you get, the more hair you lose, and a lot of times it depends on, you know, genetics and your hair type and whatever. I know it's something interesting that I learned. I know it's a common idea that men bald more than women, but I read an interesting article about a study from the University of Melbourne that says there aren't more bald men than women, but that women are just better at hiding it. Of course, that isn't true for every single person because of varying genetics and hair types, but that generally men and women both lose a lot of hair with age, just in different patterns. Men's hair loss is more extensive, while women's hair loss is high. It's just in the way it thins. And the article is by Peter Hanlon of the University of Melbourne, so go check that out if you want to read more. Going back to Moore's article on guycounseling.com, he says that he provides a couple of products that you can use to prevent hair loss, like Propecia, which would need a prescription, minoxidil, which can be purchased over the counter, and even just taking biotin, which is vitamin B7. It's a vitamin that encourages hair growth. and prevents hair loss. Further hair care tips, he says, don't scrub dry your hair with a towel. Instead, gently pat dry, because aggressive scrubbing can damage your hair follicles, and in extreme cases, it can cause more hair loss. He also says the shorter your hair, the easier it is to manage, which is kind of, I feel like that's an obvious, not obvious, but that's a solid concept. He says, be careful with your hair care products, because if you aren't good about washing them out, it can lead to dandruff on your scalp. And if you have dandruff, it's probably because you aren't properly washing out the products from your hair, or you could have eczema or dermatitis, and so you should talk to your doctor about it. But a lot of physicians, to get rid of dandruff, recommend a coal tar extract product like T-Gel, which I believe is Neutrogena. I actually used that for a while in high school to get rid of my own dandruff, and it worked very, very well. Or you could go with like a classic Head and Shoulders moment. If your hair is getting gray and you want to liven it up, you could either go to a professional and have it dyed, or you could pick up a hair glaze product that's applied in the shower. And he says it works like a charm and it doesn't look fake. The glaze product that he linked was the John Frieda hair glaze. So if you try that out, please, I tried to look for before and after pictures, but I would love to hear about your experience if you try the hair glaze. Moving on to your face. And, a lot of it is subject to change based on whether your skin is normal, oily, dry. But there are a couple universals that he talks about that, a lot of people can follow. And I will admit, initially I felt like there would be no difference between men's and women's skincare because, skin is skin. And while there are differences in skin types and skin allergens and how various people's skin reacts to various products, a lot of the steps and practices would be baseline the same, is what I thought. But after a little research, there are actually some differences to men's skincare versus women's skincare. I read this in a Harper's Bazaar article written by Alexander Tunnell, who was the senior beauty editor. According to Dr. Brian Zellickson, a board-certified plastic surgeon and founder of MD Complete, men's general skincare needs to do what it needs to do vary from those of women. He says, quote, men's skin is about 25% thicker with more collagen, more and larger hair follicles, and more sebum production, all of which is mostly due to increased testosterone production. These structural differences make men's skin less sensitive and able to handle stronger ingredients. However, it also makes them a bit more acne prone, so they don't need as heavy cream-based products, says Dr. Zellickson. Other factors like daily shaving, spending more time outdoors on average, and being at higher risk for skin cancer make skin repairing ingredients and SPF even more essential for men. He says, quote, men generally prefer fragrance-free, all-in-one products that are easy to use, whereas women tend to prefer pretty scents and longer, luxurious routines. Women's products should have ingredients that will cater to the fact that they have thinner skin and tend to lose moisture to a greater degree and get photo damage at an earlier age in general. There are many similarities, but well-formulated moisturizers, cleansers, and scrubs will have significant differences for every person. John Moore also touches on the difference between men's skin and women's skin. Because men's skin is thicker, this can make them less prone to aging effects. However, if you don't take care of your skin well enough, then you won't get back to those benefits that come from your skin being less prone to aging. A lot of these tips that he lists under skincare are really just general guidelines. You should avoid using bar soaps like the Dial soaps or Irish Spring soap on your face, because a lot are going to be too harsh and will strip oils and collagen from the dermal layer. And instead, you should use a nice facial cleanser like, CeraVe. If your skin is oily, you should use a cleanser with salicylic acid. He mentions exfoliating. He mentions try doing a face mask at least once a week. He also, a lot of what he mentions in this article is that men should really be moisturizing a lot more. He says moisturize twice a day, so that means morning and night. He gives some tips for rosacea, or if you're prone to red skin. He recommends an excellent product that a lot of guys use to calm redness, and that's Cetaphil's Night Moisturizing Cream for redness-prone skin. And it's a dermatologist recommended product. He says use sunblock, and I feel like that's a general rule that everybody should follow. He mentions that if you start getting acne, start to incorporate acne reducing activities. So like using like acne creams and stuff. He also mentions for skincare, specifically for face, that you should pay attention to your eyebrows and you keep them trimmed so that they are even. Don't shave in between the space between your eyebrows because that may cause a unibrow to grow. But you should, I think it's nice to keep your eyebrows, in check. He goes on to talk about beard care. So he gave us a ton of tips for skincare, and now he's going to talk us through tips for caring for your facial hair. First, he gives us a YouTube video for some basic beard trimming tips. He says that if you shave daily, it's important to use high-quality precision trimming or cutting products. And that means using a durable trimmer and a beard trimmer. John Moore says never use the same razor blade twice because it could cause a bacterial infection. Well, that is true. I think that you can definitely get more than one use out of a razor, depending on, what you're using it for. If you have sensitive skin, you should use a gel or a cream designed to reduce bumps and inflammation. I feel like that's the same thing as using an anti-ingrown hair serum after you shave. If you should use a skin conditioning product prior to shaving to avoid nicks and cuts. And I feel like that's kind of like a similar thing to some kind of shaving gel or shaving oil. If you are going for a shorter beard or a goatee kind of look, you should learn how to properly shape your facial hair to achieve what look you want. And he links a short beard styling guide that gives more information. Some of these tips I've learned from watching every episode of Queer Eye that involves a man with a beard. And it's important to keep your beard looking healthy, and that might involve some trimming or beard oil so that you can have a beard that enhances your facial features and doesn't hide you away. Of course, if your religion prohibits trimming, or perhaps you just want to let your beard grow freely, you can always maintain upkeep by just using beard oil and brushing your beard, and also setting it with like a beard balm or beard gel. He also links an article to if you want to, wanting to have a longer beard or a quote lumberjack look, you can look on the post for how to achieve that. He also says that to achieve a more youthful appearance, you could consider coloring your beard with a product like Just for Men. And it's available everywhere. My mom actually uses Just for Men, the beard dye, to dye her eyebrows. And it works really well. It's very easy to use, easy application. So I would recommend that if you're in the market for, trying to look a little more youthful. The next beauty tips for men that he goes on to talk about are teeth. Now, his take on your teeth they're just very basic tips that I guess are just good reminders for stuff you should or could be doing every day. And that's brushing your teeth twice a day, or flossing, going to the dentist, using mouthwash. If you want to pick up a teeth whitening product like Crest Whitening or the Active White Teeth Whitening Powder. And he also says, he mentions having crooked, uneven, or gap teeth. Basically, if you want to get dental work done, get dental work done. He provides you a lot of different options about talking to your dentist for how you can get straighter teeth. But if you want to do Invisalign, do Invisalign. If you want to get the dental work, get the dental work. It's all obviously up to your discretion. The next beauty tips he goes on to are talking about hands. He says, quote, "Men tend to be tactile creatures, using their hands to accomplish much work. For this reason, and a host of others, the hands are one of the first areas to show signs of old age." And again, this is very basic tips that he provides. Trim your nails, moisturize. That's the whole, everything he says moisturize. And maybe get a manicure every so often. Nail care for men is becoming way popularized. So maybe find a nail color you really like and try it out. I've said it before, but I've always struggled with biting my nails, and I realized that once I started painting them, I don't bite them as much, and my nails become stronger and healthier. So if you struggle with nail care yourself, I would suggest maybe painting your nails or grooming them a little bit more, in addition to keeping your hands well moisturized. Next, going on to the body. He links a guide showing you the proper way to get rid of body hair, specifically manscaping is what he calls it. He links a lot of products that you can use with tools, and mostly from Amazon, for how to, get rid of excessive back hair if you want to, or that hair that is on your butt. So if you want those tips, go look at this article because he links them right there. For moisturizing your body, again, general tips. Always use a moisturizer after showering or bathing. Avoid time in the sun if you can to prevent skin damage. Otherwise, use an SPF of at least 30. Don't go to tanning beds. I feel like that's a really great rule for everybody. I've been guilty of it a couple times. It's stupid. It's not good for your skin. It'll age you so much faster. Like I said earlier, the next tip he says, don't use bar soaps on your body. Instead, go for a moisturizing cleanser. He suggests the Anthony Logistics body wash, and you can get that on Amazon. If you want, use a loofah when you're showering to help exfoliate. You could consider even just getting an exfoliating body scrub. But his main thing is really keep in mind to moisturize. That's moisturize, use sunscreen. He also brings up moisturizing as a form of penile care because you should be moisturizing every part of your body that has skin on it. And there are specific lotions or oils you can purchase for penile moisturizing. Moving down, he says, we're talking about the legs and the feet now. Again, moisturize, exfoliate, wear sunscreen. If you shave your legs, make sure you're following some of the tips he gave last time we talked about shaving. Use a good razor with a solid shaving product. Whether you use a gel or a cream or oil is completely up to you. And finally, he leaves us with some general beauty and wellness tips. And he gives us tips about cologne options, how you shouldn't smoke because it can cause premature aging and hair loss. Drink water, avoid soft drinks, take a men's multivitamin because it helps you replenish vitamin A, vitamin C, and vitamin E in your skin. Use the right kind of brush. These are all kind of basic generic tips. He also recommends to remember to trim around your ear and your nose hairs. Check out that situation. I know my dad had a little situation of that sort a couple years ago with, nose hair and ear hair. I don't know if you guys just heard that, but it's thundering so loudly near me. And we just got him a quick trimmer. It's very easy to use. He just uses it when he he needs to clean up his hair in his ear or around his nose. Very easy to use. Finally, he also gives us some myths about men's grooming and skincare, like how people believe men who pay attention to grooming and skincare are arrogant or narcissistic, or that if you're into self-care in that way that you can't be straight, or that skincare is just for women. And it's just simply not. Taking care of your hair and skin and body is just a way of maintaining your health and wellness so you can live your life more confidently and feel better about yourself in general. So that's all I have on men's beauty tips. If I missed anything, or if you want me to talk about anything more in depth, or if I got something wrong, please let me know. When we come back from the break, I'm going to talk to y'all about my favorite things to wear in the summer. So stick around. We'll be right back.
Do you want to be healthier, yet you just don't know what to do? All these shows telling you this and that, but nothing seems to work. Well, listen close. Golden State Media Concepts has got something great for you. The Health and Wellness Podcast dedicated to workout trends, healthy eating habits, diet, and everything about healthy living. Join us in our banters as we help you not just live life to the fullest, but live it to the healthiest.
And we are back. If you weren't here before the break, I was just talking about men's beauty tips that I learned from the website called guycounseling.com. If you have any interest in finding any of the products that he talked about, he gave a lot of products to go with the beauty tips that he gave us about, moisturizing, what shampoo and conditioner you should be using. So go check out that article. And now we're going to talk about my favorite things to wear in the summer. So I have kind of gotten my style down in the summer. I've gotten it down to basically a uniform. And especially in quarantine, I'm not really going out and doing much anyway. So these are clothes that kind of allow me to get out of just Nike shorts and a t-shirt to wear that every day. The first thing that I'm going to talk about are sweat shorts. My favorite article of clothing ever to wear are sweat shorts, and I found my first pair from H&M. And I got 3 colors, and they were navy, pink, and charcoal gray. And these shorts are just some of the most comfy things I've ever worn in my entire life. They're high-waisted, which I just gravitate towards high-waisted things. They have an elastic waistband that has a drawstring, so it's not as tight as Nike shorts, and they're cotton, so they're stretchy, and so they're not like Nike shorts, which are a little bit more restrictive. The original style H&M doesn't carry anymore, to my knowledge. I've been looking and looking and looking, and I can't find it anywhere. But they have a new style, which I think is equally as cute. They're not like my favorites, but they are still super cute, super comfy. And they come in 4 colors, and it's like a blue, a light pink, and a couple other colors. I have them in an army green, and they're super cheap. They're only $13, and they have a gajillion colors, so you can wear them every day if you wanted to. Since I wasn't able to find shorts like the original H&M sweat shorts, I splurged for my birthday and got a pair of sweat shorts from Urban. Now, these were $40, so I would never, ever, ever pay $40 for a pair of sweat shorts, but it was my birthday, so I was letting myself splurge. I can't find them on the website anymore. They're just a gray pair of sweat shorts, champion, drawstring. They're a little bit thicker than the H&M ones, so they're a little bit bulkier, but they're still super comfortable, and I wear them all the time. But again, I can't find them on the website anymore. They have others like it, and they also have on the Urban website, and they also have shorts that are like the H&M shorts on the Urban Outfitters website, but the H&M ones are much cheaper, so I would definitely go to H&M over Urban. Another thing I've been really liking to wear, especially in the summer, are bike shorts. Now, we've all seen that trend. We've seen those pictures of Princess Di wearing them, looking like a baddie. I didn't have any at first, and I'm pretty sure the first time I ever wore something of a semblance, I wore a pair of leggings that had been cut to shorts that I found in my laundry at school. I don't know where they came from. I think they might be my friend Kendall's, actually. I should text her. But they were not a pair of real bike shorts. They were leggings that had been cut into shorts. And they were great. They were very comfy. I still have them. But so then I ordered a 3-pack of actual bike shorts from Amazon that came in black, gray, and navy. And these were fine, and I liked them. They weren't my favorites because I didn't think they were breathable enough. They were very, I don't know how to describe it. They weren't, I feel like I couldn't even move as well as I could in my other bike shorts that weren't bike shorts. I was expecting them to be more like legging material, and I don't know. They weren't my favorites, and the waistband kind of cut into me, and it was a little bit more like Nike shorts in that regard, and I was hoping that they were going to be closer to Lululemon waistbands where they are seamless and super comfortable. And then I still wear those. They're fine. They have a nice pocket on the side, so that's very, very nifty and convenient. I got a pair from Forever 21 that were closer to what I wanted, which were the seamless waist, and it was very stretchy, very movable. But they were too long, and they weren't flattering. I have very short legs and very big hips, and so it just accentuated the wrong parts of my body and the wrong way. So finally, also for my birthday, I splurged and I got a pair of Lululemon ones, because basically what I was looking for was a pair of Lululemon leggings that were short so I could wear them in the summer and not die. I got the Wonder Train 6-inch high-rise short in navy. These were $55, but I splurged because it was my birthday, so that's what I'm saying. And they're great. I mean, I love them as much as I love my normal Lululemon leggings. I love wearing bike shorts with, crop tops or workout tops. You can use a crop top and put on some cute sneakers, and that makes it a little bit more dressed up. Or you could I wear like a tank top and I go running in them. I like bike shorts instead of Nike shorts because my legs will chafe if I wear Nike shorts. And so that's why I like bike shorts as well, because they kind of keep everything in and stop friction so my legs don't chafe when I work out. I also have been wearing a lot of, I mentioned like crop tops and t-shirts and stuff. I got a lot of crop top tanks, like workout tanks from Forever 21. And they have this style called the Active Cropped Cami. It was $13. I have it in black, gray, and white. But the only colors I just saw on the website were gray and black. These tops are great because it works as, it could be, depending on the size you get, it could just be a sports bra. It could be a cute top. It could be a workout top. It has a lot of uses, and it's really versatile, and I like that a lot, that I can wear it both as a loungewear top or as a top that I can, do other things in. I sleep in it, which I don't recommend doing often, but they're comfortable enough to sleep in, and it's just a high neck top that is like a halter, and it goes down the back, and it's just very comfortable. I also just got from Urban Outfitters the Out From Under Haley Seamless Bra Top in black and red. They were $24, and it's sort of like the Forever 21 tops. They work as a lounge top or as a cute top if you paired it with like high-waisted jean shorts. It's a super comfortable top. You can wear it. You could wear it as a sports bra. I would just wear it as a top, and they're so comfortable and fit in such a way that I don't need to wear a bra with them. So that's a double plus. And like I said, you can just wear it as a lounge top or as a cute top, especially if you wore it with high-waisted jean shorts. That's another thing that I like to wear during summer are high-waisted jean shorts. They're classic. I mean, if you find the right pair, they're you will wear them so often. I found my current favorite pair from Target, actually, because I used to struggle a lot finding pants that would fit me from Target because they upsize their stuff a lot. So I would always, it would be a lot of self-hate from Target pants for a little bit there. But I think so I stopped buying pants from there for a very long time. But I think something must have changed because I got my new pair last summer and they're nice and comfy. They're not like the short ones. They are high-waisted, which I tend to gravitate towards. They're very comfortable. They're stretchy. They are one of the first pairs of shorts, in addition to, I will say, American Eagle shorts. One of the first pairs of shorts that I can get away with having a big butt and big hips and not having a gap because my waist is thinner than my hips. So that's a plus why I really, really like those jean shorts from Target. The next part of my summer uniform is I really enjoy wearing sundresses. And, if you find the right one, you don't have to wear a bra with it, which is really nice in the summer. As I mentioned, that's a plus. I have found my favorite ones from Old Navy or from Gap. Gap is a little bit pricier. They're around $45. And by sundresses, sorry, I should specify, I mean like the midi sundresses that kind of go down halfway down your shin. A lot of the times I kind of like the floral prints more. So Gap has really cute ones, really nice ones, but they're a little pricier, around $45. And Old Navy is a little bit better, around $30, give or take, depending on which ones you get. And it's just the perfect summer cute outfit. And I put it on if I, want to feel like a real person for once, because of quarantine and everything, I don't get dressed up. I don't go out and do things anymore. So if I'm looking for a boost for the day, sundresses are super cute and super comfortable to wear. You can make it casual. You can dress it up if you want to. I just like them because it makes me, like I said, feel like a real person. And something else that makes me feel like a real person is putting on shoes, which I feel like sounds so simple, but I usually gravitate towards sneakers, like fashion sneakers or platform sneakers. Supergas are on sale right now for $50, and I got a pair they're normally $80. I got a pair for Christmas, and they're just a very simple way to dress up a look without having to wear like heels or sandals. They're just a platform version of Keds. It's just a simple white canvas sneaker that's a platform. You can also, I think they also come in navy and gray and maybe one other color, but I've had a pair in white and a pair in gray, and they're very comfortable and they last a long time. I bought myself a pair before I studied abroad last summer in London and wore them basically every day, just traversing the city, doing touristy things, walking a lot. And they lasted through me walking all across London and also walking from my house to campus and stuff during the first semester of last year. They probably could have gone longer, but I just got a fresh pair for Christmas. So I've retired my old ones. I have them just in case of emergency. But yeah, so that's those are the pieces of clothing that I particularly like to wear in the summer because I know that they're comfortable. I know that summer is miserable in Charlotte. I've said it before. I basically melt every summer in North Carolina. So these are pieces that won't make me feel like I'm melting because they're super comfortable. They're cute. They're lightweight. And they're very easy to wear and very easy to style in a bunch of different ways. So that's all I have for y'all today. I hope you enjoyed the episode. We talked about the Jeffree Star drama. We talked about the right ways to shave. We talked about men's beauty tips. And we also talked about what I just said. We talked about my favorite summer looks. So As always, thank you guys for listening. This has been the GSMC Beauty Tips Podcast, brought to you by GSMC Podcast Network. I'm your host, Betsy Scaresbrick. If you like what you heard today, please leave a comment or a review. Give us 5 stars. Give us a comment, like, subscribe. You know, the works. Again, if there's anything that you want us to talk about in the future, or if you have questions, comments, concerns about what I talked about today, again, leave it in the review. That's it. Thanks for listening. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
You've been listening to the Golden State Media Concepts Beauty Tips Podcast, part of the GSMC Podcast Network. You can find this show and others like it at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Download our podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, or anywhere you find podcasts. Just type in GSMC to find all of our shows from the GSMC Podcast Network, from health and wellness to entertainment and life and happiness to sex and relationships. You can also follow us on Twitter and Facebook. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed today's episode of the Golden State Media Concepts Beauty Tips Podcast.